Welcome to another episode of the Jampack Report today for April the 23rd of 2021. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry, hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week. It's your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. Of course, happy Mortal Kombat Day. This is not sponsored. This is not a hashtag ad. I just wanted to keep you in the loop that Mortal Kombat drops in theaters and on HBO Max today. So dive in, check it out, see what you think. It seems the impressions are pretty favorable considering the track record for video game movies. I'm very excited to see what they come up with. But we aren't talking about Mortal Kombat on today's show. Oh no, we're talking about Battlefield because large-scale warfare is back. 2 new Battlefield experiences are in development, one for console and PC, plus another for mobile. This news comes from EA.com, where they have an entire blog post that kind of teases us as to what is to come in the months ahead. Hey Battlefield community, I know everyone is wanting more detail about what's to come for Battlefield this year, and I promise we have a lot to show you in the coming months. We are putting some things together for when we reveal the next generation of Battlefield, and we can't wait to show that to you all. But for now, we have a couple of things we wanted to tell you about. First, we are really excited to have the biggest Battlefield development team ever working on our console and PC game for this holiday season, and second, we have something very exciting to talk about on mobile. The return of all-out warfare. 2021 is an exciting time for us here at DICE. Working with more world-class development studios within Electronic Arts, we have our biggest team ever on a Battlefield game for console and PC. Our friends at Criterion and DICE LA are working with us on our shared vision of the game, while the team in Gothenburg is taking technology in the game to the next level. Together, we are creating a jaw-dropping experience for you to enjoy later in 2021. We are in daily playtesting mode right now, polishing, balancing, and making the best possible Battlefield game we can. I can tell you that it's a bold step. It has everything we love about Battlefield and takes all of it to the next level. Epic scale, all-out military warfare, crazy unexpected moments, game-changing destruction, massive battles packed with more players and mayhem than ever before, all brought to life with the power of next-gen consoles and PCs. Get ready for our reveal soon, TM, and then a winky face. A new Battlefield mobile game coming in 2022. It's always been our vision to bring Battlefield to more platforms, so after years of prototyping, I'm super happy to be able to let you know that our friends at Industrial Toys, working closely with all of us here at DICE, are developing a completely new Battlefield game, bringing all-out warfare to smartphones and tablets in 2022. Make no mistake, this is a standalone game, a completely different game from the one we're making for console and PC, designed specifically for the mobile platform. It's being built from the ground up by iToys to make Battlefield on the go a reality, and you can expect a fully fledged, skill-based experience. This mobile game is now entering a testing period ahead of launching next year, so expect more details to come. I can't wait to show you the 2 Battlefield games we have coming. In the meantime, stay safe and play some Battlefield. That is courtesy of Oscar Gabrielson, General Manager at DICE. Very excited about the next generation of Battlefield. Of course, when it comes to first-person shooters, Battlefield is one of those that's on the Call of Duty level. I love the huge maps and the all-out warfare that the franchise does bring. Needless to say, very excited to see the next generation Battlefield that takes full advantage of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. This is a game that is very near and dear to my heart, so I'm looking forward to seeing that next generation, and I can't wait to see what the actual setting is. Is it future? Is it past? Is it present? We will have to wait and see. But I'm also very interested in this mobile game because of the success of games like PUBG and of games like Call of Duty Mobile. It makes sense for Electronic Arts to place a heavy bet in the space because the competitors are seeing success, and that's why you see Monday's announcement of Apex Legends getting a mobile regional beta, which starts soon. Of course, this game has been announced for a couple of months now. But Apex Legends is coming to mobile as well, and so you have it entering the mobile battle royale space. And mobile is incredibly powerful in 2021 because the Different kinds of hesitations that people have had over the years surrounding mobile devices, those don't really apply anymore because of the power of mobile devices themselves and the power of cloud streaming as well, depending on the kind of experiences you want to have. Of course, for those that have Game Pass Ultimate, you can use the Xbox Cloud Gaming to play on your mobile device with the newest test coming for Edge browsers and Chrome browsers and even iPhones. But if you don't want to stream your experiences and you want to have that very reactive on-device kind of experience, Call of Duty Mobile is fantastic. PUBG Mobile, we've talked about these. On top of that, League of Legends is now on mobile devices. You're getting big, legitimate gaming experiences on the go that are designed from the ground up to not feel like ports, but to feel natural and to feel very at home on these mobile devices. And instead of somebody having to go out and buy an Xbox or buy a PlayStation or build a PC or buy a PC, they have a phone. They have something that they already have at their disposal, ready to go, ready to rock, and they don't have to focus on spending that money. They just pick it up, download a free application, and they're off to the races. That is a big benefit. Because if you have people that become invested in the worlds of Battlefield and in the worlds of Apex Legends, they might love it so much they pick up a console. They might love it so much they check it out on PC. Who knows what they could become interested in? And before you know it, you have a fan for life. That's the ultimate goal of these free experiences. Of course, they have some skins, some microtransactions, some battle passes, but games have overwhelmingly gotten better with not being quite so in your face about monetization if you don't want to throw money at them. And so I think it's all moving in the right direction. But very excited to learn more about this mobile Battlefield and, of course, to dive into Apex Legends on mobile devices. That should be interesting. I'm looking forward to trying that out. So Electronic Arts is going all in on mobile. And, of course, that new Battlefield reveal is probably coming sometime in the next month or two, around that E3 kind of time frame that we all know and love so well. But Electronic Arts is not the only company making big multiplayer experiences. PlayStation and Firewalk Studios have announced a publishing partnership for a new original multiplayer IP. There is a moment that happens almost every day in our multiplayer playtest, says Tony Sue, studio head at Firewalk Studios, where someone jolts out of their seat, laughs, and says to no one in particular, "Did you just see that happen?" These amazing and unpredictable moments in gaming are the sparks that occur when playing with others, future memories ready to be replayed and retold. We started Firewalk Studios in 2018 with this kind of spark at the heart of our games. It's why I used to stay up until 2 a.m. playing Phantasy Star Online night after night with the same group from Server 9, or how the neighbors who showed up at my NYC apartment to complain about the noise ended up jamming with us in Rock Band instead. For others on our team, it was spending nights with their crews searching and finding the perfect last armor piece in Diablo 2, making the online qualifiers and competitive Halo tournaments, or skipping studying for a math final to play in Left 4 Dead 2 LAN parties. As a next-generation AAA studio and part of the Probably Monsters family, we've carefully assembled an amazing and diverse team of best-in-class talent who are focused on creating these moments. Everyone here brings a deep passion for games and the art of making them. We have a saying at Firewalk: build a great team, build a great game. One leads directly to the other. The Probably Monsters world-class operations team and infrastructure has allowed us to focus on doing both better, fostering a sustainable development culture where people come first and delivering great games. Our collective leadership team is no stranger to building memorable multiplayer experiences. Ryan Ellis, our game director, was a creative director on Destiny. Elena Siegman, our executive producer, was a producer on Guitar Hero 2, BioShock Infinite, and multiple Destiny releases. Our deeply talented team has helped bring to life franchises like Mass Effect and Apex Legends. Combined with my own experience and thousands of hours played on Call of Duty and Destiny, we have had the opportunity to deliver some of the decade's biggest experiences to gamers, and we've loved it. Today, we are thrilled to announce a partnership with Sony Interactive Entertainment for our new original multiplayer game. For our team, the opportunity to create new worlds and inspire more amazing moments for players around the world is the fire and ambition that keeps us going. The PlayStation team has a deep love and respect for the medium of games and some of the best expertise and capabilities in the world to help make big ambitions a reality. We're already hard at work on development and have been having a ton of fun playing our game as a team. In fact, while we continued to grow our team during this challenging last year, it was our daily online playtest that provided the most consistent point of joy and connection for our crew. The fun and laughter of playing together brought us closer, even if we were physically apart. Our goal is to be able to deliver that same joy to gamers, and we can't wait to share what we've been working on when the time is right. We are very fortunate to love what we do, making games. There's more game making in front of us, but in the meantime, we'll keep playing the incredible games this industry creates and generating a few more sparks of our own. See you out there. Super excited to see what this is. I'm looking forward to seeing number one, what this game is, and number two, to see where it lands, because one definitive detail that's missing from this entire announcement is the exclusivity. It seems to allude to the fact that this is probably something that's going to be available on PlayStation 5s and PCs. I would say Xbox is likely left out of it, but I don't want to put that in stone. However, a new multiplayer IP is something that I think a lot of people could be looking forward to in the PlayStation ecosystem, because where Microsoft has Halo, PlayStation doesn't really have anything. Originally, Killzone was developed to be a direct competitor to Halo, but it never really did quite stick. It didn't have that same kind of gusto, that same kind of lore, that same kind of fanfare that Halo ever was able to create. And so now you see this kind of project restarting, and they have a new multiplayer IP coming that is likely going to be a PlayStation exclusive in the space of consoles. Again, excited to dive in and try it out, and I love the passion that the team brings to the table here. Very impressive stuff, and it certainly is an exciting time to be in the gaming space. I said this yesterday on Twitter, and I want to bring it up again here today. I'm a huge Xbox fan, and I used to be a huge PlayStation fan. This generation has shifted me, and I now play primarily on Xbox Series X and on PC. But I look to what PlayStation is doing, and I see all of these new games that they're pumping out, and I see this dedication to creating the biggest library of exclusives, as Jim Ryan announced yesterday, where they have been investing quietly on the back end in creating a huge library of exclusives that are only going to be available on PlayStation devices. And I see Microsoft doubling down on studios. I see Microsoft doubling down on exclusives and bringing Game Pass to more devices and expanding the value of Game Pass itself, and I can't help but be excited about the future regardless of where I'm playing. New experiences are coming every day that are changing the face of this industry and that are changing the face of gaming itself, and to see stuff like this, a new partnership between PlayStation and a company that is relatively new but packed with industry veterans that are searching to create something great, that's what I love. That's the innovation that excites me. And so I'm looking forward to seeing more from not only this partnership, but from partnerships across the industry. This generation is going to be fantastic, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. But it's fun to look forward. Let's take a look back, because some of the last generation's biggest games are getting an upgrade on the Xbox Series X and S, including a lot from the EA Play library, a new suite of games from EA Play. Back in February 2021, we shared via Xbox Wire, writes Major Nelson, the backward compatibility team developed FPS Boost, a feature employing a variety of new methods for nearly doubling the original frame rate on select titles. Higher, steadier frame rates make games visually smoother, resulting in more immersive gameplay. We partnered closely with developers to enhance the experience while maintaining the game's original intent, and while not applicable to all games, these new techniques can push game engines to render more quickly for a buttery smooth experience beyond what the original game might have delivered due to the limitations of the hardware at that time. In some instances, because there are higher graphics requirements to enable FPS Boost technology, we've had to reduce a game's resolution to ensure both runs smoothly and plays great. In those select cases, FPS Boost is not automatically enabled for Xbox Series X games, but can be easily turned on under the compatibility options in the Manage Game and Add-on setting. To experience FPS Boost and to be able to toggle the feature on and off, make sure your console has taken the latest update and you have rebooted your console. To see if the game you're running is running FPS Boost or Auto HDR, you can also now just tap the Xbox button on your controller while in game, and you'll see a guide overlay indicator in the upper right corner if the features are enabled or not. Now, in regards to the latest updates, you now have a new slew of EA Play / Game Pass Ultimate games that have 120 FPS support or 60 FPS support in the case of Sea of Solitude. But those 120Hz games on Xbox Series X include Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, and Battle for Neighborville and Garden Warfare 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Titanfall, Titanfall 2, and Unravel 2. Of course, those come in addition to last month's new additions that kind of launched the service, or I should say February's new additions that launched the service, and you can check those out here. But in short, you now have games like Titanfall, you now have games like Star Wars Battlefront running at 120 frames per second on the Xbox Series X, and in some cases on the Xbox Series S. You have the Plants vs. Zombies games and the Star Wars Battlefront 1 running at 120 Hz, in addition to games like Battlefield 4, Titanfall 2, and Unravel 2. Sea of Solitude, meanwhile, seems stuck at 60 FPS. In short, though, it does add a new quality of life improvement to some of the last generation's biggest games, and I do want to dive in and check out Battlefield 4 again, because it gives me a reason to return to it. I would love to see 120 FPS in Titanfall. That sounds fantastic on a console. Of course, possible beyond belief on PCs, but in the console space, this is something that is new and exciting, and so dive in, give it a shot, see if you do enjoy it. But FPS Boost is one of those new next-gen features that I think is really innovative and that really brings a lot of value to the table, especially as we see a lot of games getting delayed into later in 2021 or even beyond. Now is the perfect opportunity to dive into a backlog and experience some of those games that either you loved and fell in love with last generation, or that you never really got a chance to try. And so for me to go back and be able to play the campaigns in Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 that I might not have taken in properly, or to go back and play Mirror's Edge Catalyst, a game that I never did get the chance to play, that sounds fun, that sounds exciting, and I absolutely will without a doubt. On top of that, though, streaming is becoming a bigger part of what Xbox Game Pass has to offer, and it looks like PlayStation Now is ramping up support for 1080p. We see this announcement made via the official PlayStation Twitter account, no associated blog post or anything, but PlayStation Now will begin rolling out support for streaming 1080p capable games this week. The rollout will occur over the next several weeks across Europe, US, Canada, and Japan, where PlayStation Now is available. Previously, it was only running at 720p, so that was a bit of a bummer, and you can definitely tell, but this is a step in the right direction, even though it's not up to that 4K capability. Now, in its message, writes Engadget, Sony said the feature is coming to 1080p capable games. We reached out to the company for clarification on what exactly that means, so it's unclear as to how this support is rolling out, but it's nice to see that it is actually coming. And so I will let you guys know exactly what happens whenever this does begin to roll out and how people react. But it does seem to be the case that PlayStation is focusing on building a better PlayStation Now, and they should, because this is where they can actually compete with Game Pass Ultimate as we start to look to new TV apps that are in development for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate experience, to be able to have an Xbox that is quote-unquote built in to your TV, where you just connect a Bluetooth controller and you effectively have a cloud Xbox built into your device. That's the next frontier. And so PlayStation needs to get in on that, but PlayStation Now's infrastructure is not where it needs to be, but it certainly has improved since I last tried it in July of 2020. It seems downloads are now a bigger part of the service, and streaming has improved a good bit. But from the Gaikai acquisition years ago to the PlayStation Now that we have today, cloud has still come a long way, but it also has a long way to go in the world of PlayStation. In the Epic Games space, though, new changes are taking place with apps on Epic Games. There are more PC apps coming your way. Today, we are excited to roll out a new wave of PC apps via the Epic Games launcher. With these new apps releasing, we needed a place to keep them. You can find the growing collection in one place on App Page, and be sure to check back often because we'll have even more apps coming to the store as the year rolls on. Apps launched include the DRM-free indie-focused game store itch.io, open-source web browser Brave, music and streaming radio app iHeartRadio in North America, 2D to 3D model generator Kinshape, and digital painting application Krita, and you can find more information on each of these apps on the official Epic Games Store news page. But I will say for the itch.io edition, that's something that I think is very significant here, because itch.io is kind of a haven for indie games. It's where developers can put up their game regardless of its price. They can charge $100, they can charge nothing, and they can just get their product out into the wild. And Epic Games will not take a cut of that. This is just a place for indie games to thrive, and to have that on one of the leading PC marketplaces brings so much more focus obvious to indie games that this is going to be a huge benefit for those that are just creating stuff and that might not be funded by some big AAA publisher, but instead are self-funded. Maybe it's just two guys in a basement making a game. Who knows what it could be? But to see itch.io coming is certainly something that I think is exciting and the highlight of the announcement today. Kind of weird, in my opinion, to see a browser coming to Epic Games, iHeartRadio. I mean, I guess that's cool, I suppose. These creation tools seem to make a bit more sense, but again, not really sure the value these are bringing to Epic Games. I'm sure these are more so partnerships than anything. I know there's the Spotify Premium partnership that you see here being highlighted, but regardless, interesting to see that Epic is making a bigger play into the PC application space, and I'm sure that they're probably going to be profitable off of all of these things, but itch.io certainly the standout from that announcement. But to round out today's show, an update from yesterday, Sony confirms it is testing PlayStation Plus Video Pass in Poland. This is super strange. So Video Pass, for those that don't know or that didn't check out yesterday's show, which I highly recommend you check out, is a service that is launching in Poland and has launched today. And effectively, it brings a new perk for PlayStation Plus subscribers. A couple of shows and movies every 3 months are going to be added to your subscription. And so, in short, Sony is testing the service. They're seeing what patterns players have, if they adopt the service, if they enjoy it. And of course, you see the comment here from Nick McGuire, Sony's Global Services VP, talking to Spider's Web. The exec said the company decided to hold the test in Poland based on specific data and that Sony would monitor the popularity of the service before deciding on a full launch, saying, quote, "We want to see how players will benefit from such a service. What titles do they watch? What do they care about? How often do they use them? At this stage, however, I cannot say whether it will be created and what the test process will look like for other markets, as well as what the future is for PlayStation Plus Video Pass after the test period. We are currently focusing only on the Polish market, on Polish players, and what will be the reaction to the additional benefit under the PlayStation Plus program," end quote. That is, of course, from Spider's Web, reported on by VGC. This is something that I still don't know why it exists, because, again, we need to focus on gaming services, and I don't think adding a video benefit to PlayStation Plus is necessarily going to turn the tide in PlayStation's favor in the world of subscriptions. And as I said yesterday, I love PlayStation Plus. I think it's one of the best services out there, but I don't think that it's necessarily something that needs a video component. I think they should focus more on looping PlayStation Now into PlayStation Plus and keeping that price the same while improving the experience. That's how you generate more subscribers. That's how you get more people on board. Regardless, there's your update for the day. I doubt this is going to ever leave Poland. I doubt this is going to come to North America. I really highly doubt it's going to be coming to other regions, but I did want to at least let you guys know that was the update from yesterday, so stay tuned for more once they conclude their findings. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about mobile gaming in 2021. Have you gotten into any mobile games? Do you plan on checking out Battlefield on the go? Or are you looking forward to Apex Legends? Would love to hear what you have to say. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.